What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Breaking news. It seems like they've agreed on a venue and a date for Errol Spence versus Shawn Showtime Porter. Errol the True Spence versus Shawn Showtime Porter. It's slated to take place on August 3rd. Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. You know, it's been rumblings in the last couple of weeks that they were very close to a deal, and they were basically looking for a date and a venue to agree on. You know, the two fighters had agreed to terms of the monetary terms of the fight. They just was looking for the date and the venue, and it had been speculated that they was going to be at the Barclays after Errol Spence did an interview last week saying that the fight would not take place at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas, that it would take place in Barclays, and that he requested the fight take place in Barclays, that he wanted to fight there in New York. You know, he has some relatives that live in New York, so they give those guys a chance to come watch him fight against Shawn Showtime Porter in a unification match. So that's good news for boxing fans, man. We get one more step closer to having one unified champion at welterweight division, 147 pounds. So that's a good thing. As the fight gets closer, I'll break it down. But these two guys are definitely the top guys at 147, along with Terrence Crawford. I think those are the top three guys at welterweight. You know, we'll see what Keith Thurman brings to the table after being inactive and didn't look that great, especially in the second half of the fight between him and Josecito Lopez. These two guys are two of the top three at 147 pounds, and Shawn Showtime Porter and Errol Spence. So we'll see what happens in that fight. But that's good. That's good news. Another bit of boxing news that came down the pipe earlier today was the WBC came out of left field and ordered a mandatory fight for the WBC strap between Vasily Lomachenko and Luke Campbell. Came out of left field. Nobody saw this coming. Wasn't even no rumblings about this. But quiet as kept, Bob Arum, petitioning the WBC to get his favorite fighter under top rank, Vasily Lomachenko, a chance to fight for the WBC belt to add to his collection at 135 pounds. And it turns out that's what's going to happen, man. They've ordered that. And they've also ordered a four-man tournament between the other guys that are ranked in the top five. You're going to have Zaul Abdulov. They've ordered him to fight Devin Haney. And they've also ordered Teofimo Lopez to fight Javier Fortuna. So I know there's got to be a bad news for Eddie Hearn. You know, Eddie was looking to stage Devin Haney. He had just signed with DAZN late last week. They announced that signing. He was looking to match Devin Haney up with Luke Campbell and maybe stage that fight probably in the UK for the vacant WBC lightweight title. But it's not going to happen like that because, like I said, Maurice Suleiman Jr., chip off the old block from Maurice Suleiman Sr., came out of left field and changed up everybody's plans, man, and ordered this fight. Surprised everybody today. Ordered this fight between Lomachenko and Campbell. So this is bad news for Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. I know Devin was one of the reasons why he probably signed with Eddie. Eddie promised him that he was going to be able to deliver to him a immediate shot at the WBC title, and it turns out that's not going to be the case. So Devin's going to have to probably fight this guy Zaul Abdulov, and that guy's from Russia. So he, who to say he might have to go over there to Russia? But that's where the money is. They got that Russian billionaire. If he puts up a lot of money, maybe Devin will have to go over there to Russia and fight that guy over there, which they might have shady judging and all kind of shady things, because everything's not on the even playing field when you're fighting over in those countries, man. You got to knock the guy out, to basically win the fight, man. If it go to the judges, unless you just knock them down 5 or 6 times and beat them down every round, if there's any kind of doubt, they're going to give it to the hometown fighter from Russia. So, we'll see what happens, man. Maybe Eddie Hearn can get that fight staged in the U.S., but I know probably the most money is for that fight, especially if the billionaire owner is behind this young Russian fighter in Zaur Abdullah, for them to stage that fight in Russia. That's where they're going to stage the Sergey Kovalev fight against Anthony Yarde, because they're going to do big business up there in Russia, and the billionaire promoter is putting up a lot of money. And who to say he might put up a lot of money, not Sergey Kovalev, Anthony Yarde type of money, but put more money than that fight will probably make in the U.S. between Devin Haney and Zaur Abdullah. So we'll see what happens. As far as the other fight they was talking about, Teofimo Lopez versus Javier Fortuna, don't look for that fight to take place. Teofimo Lopez is already slated to fight, and I think it's July 19th, or maybe June 19th. On the 19th of June or July, he's slated to fight in a IBF Eliminator, and that fight's going to be on ESPN. So he's going the IBF route. So that means that the fight between him and Fortuna will not take place. And I kind of was hoping that fight would take place. That's actually a more entertaining, a better matchup. Teofimo Lopez fighting a seasoned fighter against a seasoned fighter, a very awkward fighter, a guy that uses his head, and he's very kind of basically a dirty, rough and tumble type of fighter in Javier Fortuna. That would be a good test and a test for Teofimo Lopez, being fighting a guy that's very determined, very rugged, bend the rules a little bit. That would have been a good test for him. Guy that's actually got a name in boxing, people that kind of heard of him, in Javier Fortuna. The guy that Teofimo Lopez is slated to fight on the 19th of June is a guy nobody really know about. The guy's a top ranked fighter in the IBF, and it's going to put him one step closer to getting a fight with Richard Comey, the IBF champion. So that fight is going to be out. So they probably go to the next highest ranked fighter for Javier Fortuna. So maybe look for Javier Fortuna to face Yavon Mendy. I think you remember him. He got stretched by Teofimo Lopez, and Devin Haney beat him too. So he's lost to both of the top young prospects at 135. And the next guy behind him is Jose Pedraza. So I would like to see them match up, Jose Pedraza against Javier Fortuna. Those two guys that boxing fans know, two ranked guys, been in high profile fights. Jose Pedraza's fought Gervonta Tank Davis, got knocked out. He fought Vasily Lomachenko, gave a good account of himself before Vasily Lomachenko took over in the second half of that fight and dominated that fight. So him against Javier Fortuna, who's a lot of people thought beat Robert Easter Jr., a guy that was fighting, what's the last guy that fought Danny Garcia? Granados, was fighting Granados, and that fight ended in a crazy way as he fell out the ring and ended up having to get carried out of the fight on a stretcher. That was Errol Spence hometown debut, fighting in Dallas, fighting in the Star in Frisco, Texas. That was the main event to that fight between Errol Spence and Carlos Ocampo. So that fight ended kind of strange, but it was very competitive before that happened. So Fortuna's been in there with some name guys, and hopefully maybe they can match that fight up. Javier Fortuna against Jose Pedraza if Yavon Mendy don't want it, want to fight instead. So we'll see what happens on that front. But bad break for Eddie Hearn. He released a statement, saying that he was disappointed in the WBC. He says, he don't see how a guy that's not even ranked in the WBC leapfrogs everybody in the top 10 and gets an immediate shot at the WBC title. He don't see how that happens. It's never happened in the sport of boxing. I've never heard of nothing like that before either. This guy just comes out of nowhere. And the guy that's not even ranked in the WBC. Guys got 2 belts at 135, the WBO and the IBF, but the guy that not even being ranked in the top 10 and to get immediate shot at the title, that's never happened before. And if it would have been another fighter, would they get that opportunity that that Vasily Lomachenko would get? Preferably like a black fighter or a Hispanic fighter, would they get that opportunity? I doubt it very seriously. Sometimes you got to have the complexion for the connection, as they say. So we'll see what happens with that. Bad break for Eddie Hearn, but Eddie Hearn said he's going to try to negotiate that fight between Luke Campbell and Vasily Lomachenko with top-ranking Bob Arum. That fight is supposed to be a 50-50 split, but they're going to try to negotiate that fight. But if I'm Camel people, unless I'm getting unless y'all overpaying me, way overpaying me, I'm not gonna come down from 50-50, man. Y'all, I'm already underdog in this fight, a huge underdog, so I'm not taking less than 50-50 unless you offer me a guarantee that's more than what I would have made if the fight was 50-50 and what the fight's gonna actually generate. So if it's not gonna be more than a 50-50, if it's gonna be less than 50-50, but I'm getting more because you're gonna guarantee me more money. And then I look at the numbers. I see the fight's going to say the fight. Okay, the fight between Loma-Campbell and Campbell. They're gonna probably put it in the UK. Maybe they put it in. I don't think they're gonna put it in Wembley or nothing like that. But maybe they put it at one of those nice. Maybe say they put it at the O2 Arena in London. You put it there, and you say the fight. Just say a ballpark figure. Say the fight does a gate with Loma-Campbell. And Campbell, say the fight does a gate of maybe 10 million. Just say 10-12 million gate. Say 12 million. Just gonna give it upside. 12 million gate. That's probably kind of high, but let's just go with that. $12 million gate. You do $12 million gate. Plus Sky Sports is probably going to show the fight in the UK. Campbell gets most of that revenue, and then ESPN is going to broadcast the fight. More than likely in the US. So you divvy up all the money. You say the total revenue is 14 million, okay? So that'll be 7 million for Loma-Campbell and 7 million for Campbell. Now, only way I would not, and that's good. That's why I would stay firm on 50-50. But the only way I would come off that 50-50, just say you're gonna give me a guarantee of, say we hope the fight to do better. We're gonna up the ticket prices or whatever, and we gonna give him a guarantee. You know what? 7 million apiece. That's too much for that fight. Say the fight just gonna say do a 10 million. 12 million is way too much. My fight's not gonna do no 12 million gate. Say they do an 8 million gate, $8 million gate. Okay, that's 4 million for Loma and 4 million for Campbell. That's a good deal. Now, if you can guarantee that I get, guarantee me just 6 million, guarantee no matter what the fight generates, and the fight does 10 million, or maybe it does 12, maybe it does 14, and Loma-Campbell get the rest, but my guarantee is 6 million, no matter what, then that's the only way. If I'm Luke Campbell, I'm gonna do a deal with Top Rank and just do a deal without it going to a purse bid. Otherwise, I let the fight go to a purse bid 50-50. I know I'm not the A side. I'm a huge underdog, but if it's 50-50, then this is my one shot at fighting Loma-Campbell. This is the biggest fight of my career. I got to get the most paid because I might not get this opportunity again. So I stay firm on my 50-50. So we'll see what happens, man, between that fight. But it's slated to take place, and they're in negotiations right now. And if I had to guess, I think it'll probably be on ESPN, and they're gonna put it on Sky Sports in the UK. It'll probably be maybe O2 Arena in London. We'll see how it takes place, but we'll see. As far as other boxing news, we're gonna talk about Errol the True Spence, man. It's been reported that he was offered $20 million from Golden Boy and Oscar De La Hoya to fight Canelo Alvarez, and they said Errol Spence said, "I'm not gonna. It's never good to take the first offer." So he just said, it's a good starting point, but that's not gonna be the end or the finish. You know what I'm saying? That's a good starting point. You need to come with something better than that. So. He's playing. He's a smart fighter, smart businessman. He knows that fight's going to generate a lot of money, even if it is on the zone. That fight there could push the zone app, zone subscription up to potentially 1 million. You put 1 million time. How much they paying a month now? Ain't it $19.99? Basically $20. $20 a month. You do the math on that. They get 1 million subscriptions at $20 a month. That's how much money is that? That's that's 200 million, right? Generated. 200 million. 200 million generated. 200 million generated. You know what I'm saying? So he would be wise not to take the 20 million, because if he take the 20 out of 200 million, that leave 180 million for Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So that's not a good end of the divvy up between Canelo, the promoters, and people like that. So that's not a good deal for Errol. Errol don't need to move up 2 weight classes anyway. He's got plenty of options at 147. As you see, he's got a fight lined up with Shawn Showtime Porter in the Barclays in New York. So he doesn't. It's no rush for him to really to take that fight. So if Canelo and De La Hoya really want him to step up to the plate and help the zone out, because the zone subscriptions are not as high as the people at the zone would like, and they're looking for a big fight, a high-profile fight to get people excited about the zone and subscribe to the zone. So they need Errol Spence. If I'm Errol Spence, it's 50-50. If not, y'all go fight Triple G, Callum Smith, whoever else y'all gonna fight. You know, I got plenty of options at 147. I need to clean out that division really anyway. So you got to make it worth my while if you want me to jump up 2 weight classes to fight arguably the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in Canelo Alvarez. So we'll see how that play out. But that all just goes to say that Errol Spence is in a strong position. He's in high demand, and he's basically the shot caller right now in boxing. Outside of Canelo and Anthony Joshua, and maybe Deontay Wilder, Errol Spence is a top dog in the sport of boxing right now. And he's in a strong position. He's got many options. And he's got all the cards right now. He just needs to know he needs to figure out which one he's gonna play. But he's man holding all the cards. So we'll see what happens. See what happens with Errol the True Spence. As far as Terrence Crawford go, you know, people have been really wanting to see that fight happen because they think those two guys are the 2 top people at 147. Crawford and Spence. Crawford did an interview with ES News saying he thinks the fight is dead. You know. He's not gonna be played. You know, they're not gonna play him like he's some up and coming prospect and try to pay him chump change. Basically, he say Bob Arum don't run him. Al Heyman don't run him. He say the fight is dead as far as I'm concerned. You know, he said you know he's talking about you know, let me take care of my side of the street and you on the other side of the street and this and that. He basically saying Errol Spence not talking like a real fighter. He's talking like a businessman in so many words. That's what he's saying. He said, I just want to fight the best. This guy's worried about what side of the street he on and stuff like that. He say, I don't concern myself with that type of stuff. But Terrence is in a tough position, man. You know, it's easy for him to say that because he doesn't have the options that Errol has. If he had a lot of, you know, if he had guys that he could fight that was up on the top rank like Shawn Porter and Pacquiao and Thurman, you know, he probably would be singing a different tune right now. You know, he doesn't have as many options. You know, he's probably looking at a fight maybe with Kell Brook or Kavaliauskas, the Russian, that's the mandatory for his WBO belt, but he doesn't have a lot of attractive options. Maybe they can offer Danny Garcia some more money than what they offered. They offered him $4 million last time, I think. They probably gonna at least offer him $8 million just to get his attention this time. So maybe they go back to that well and maybe try to offer Danny a $8 million fight and maybe try to put that fight on ESPN pay-per-view. But outside of that, which I think is a long shot because I don't think Danny is going to go fight on ESPN. I think he's going to stay on PBC and I'm looking for him to match up with Mikey Garcia. I'm looking for those two guys to end up fighting sometime in the summer, early fall. So we'll see what happens to that. That's just a guess on mine. Just how the 147-pound division is shaping up with the fights between Errol and Shawn and Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman fighting in July. I think the next 2 top guys at 147 are Danny Garcia and Mikey Garcia. Now that he's campaigning at 147, I think those 2 biggest names that's left, and it'd be natural for those 2 guys to lock horns and fight. So we'll see what happens on that front. But a lot of boxing news going on, man. A lot of things taking place. Another thing, quick little tidbits going on, man. The WBC is making a lot of news today, and they also ordered a fight between Manuel Char versus Trevor Bryan. Manuel Char is a secondary titleist for the WBA, and Manuel Char is the top ranked contender in the WBA. So both of those guys ordered to fight, and the winner would be the mandatory for Anthony Joshua's WBA belt. So it'll be interesting to see what's going on, because another thing that came out today was Alexander Usyk is I think he hurt his tricep muscle, so he's out of the May 25th fight with Carlos Takam. So assuming that Anthony Joshua gets by Andy Ruiz, he's not going to have a lot of attractive opponents. You know, maybe he can fight like the fight I just mentioned. Maybe he can fight the winner of Manuel Char versus Trevor Bryan, or maybe he could fight Kubrat Pulev. Kubrat Pulev is #1 ranked contender, I think, for the IBF. Maybe he can fight Pulev. You know, that fight, if it go to purse bid, that means it'll come down to ESPN or DAZN. They're gonna have to bid on that fight, but right now it's not called yet. So maybe they can negotiate something to fight Kubrat Pulev, or maybe give Dylan White the rematch if Dylan White gets by Oscar Rivas on July the 13th. So he doesn't have a lot of attractive opponents now that Wilder gonna be tied up with Brazil, and then after that, Luis Ortiz and Adam Karnacki, and Tyson Fury looking to fight Thomas Schwartz, and they saying, I'm hearing that he's gonna have another tune-up after that, so he's gonna be tied up at least till end of this year. So it's not gonna leave a lot of attractive opponents for Anthony Joshua. So he's gonna have to. I think if I was Eddie Hearn, I'd be looking to match him up with Dylan White. Man, Dylan White is the best guy available. What's available, but the best guy available. Everybody else gonna be tied up. You fight Dylan White, have that fight in Wembley Stadium up in London. That'd be a huge UK domestic clash. That's not just a domestic fight, but it's got implications on a world level in the heavyweight division. So it'll be a good fight, man. I think that's the fight that Eddie Hearn need to make. That's a dangerous fight for Joshua. That's one thing about Dylan White. He's got power in both hands. That'd be a dangerous fight. If he catches Joshua on the chin, he can knock Joshua out. You remember the first fight, he almost had Joshua out of there, and he's 10 times better than he was then. So that'd be an interesting fight. Would Eddie Hearn want to make that fight, or will he try to hold Dylan White out for a possible matchup with Deontay Wilder down the road? Because he know if he fights Joshua and loses Joshua, he's pretty much he's got a long road back to try to get another title shot. So he might want to hold him back, and hoping that he may end up getting Deontay Wilder sometime in 2020. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens on the end. But he's the best available fight for Anthony Joshua now that Usyk is out with the tricep muscle, and Usyk has already stated that he wants to have at least one fight at heavyweight before taking on Anthony Joshua. So it's a lot of boxing news, man. A lot of boxing news going on, man. I gave y'all guys a lot of news that happened today, and it's been a real busy news day in the sport of boxing, man. And that's good. That's good. So we'll see what else transpires. If anything else transpires, tonight or whenever, I'll be back doing another video, guys, letting you guys know what's going on in boxing, man. That's what I'll do. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.